Welcome. Want to take a few minutes and talk about a couple more of these sons, one of them being Naphtali, which was a pretty short one here, just one verse speaking about him. It says, Naphtali is a doe set free that bears beautiful fawns. So the land that Naphtali would eventually inhabit in the Promised Land would be an area near the Sea of Galilee. This was a key area. The Sea of Galilee was a breadbasket for the nation of Israel, with the fishing and the farming and the things that took place around the Sea of Galilee. And this was also a region where Jesus did, much of his teaching and ministry. So, Naphtali is going to be a great tribe for the nation of Israel. But the one that I really want to focus on today is Joseph. And as you could imagine, Jacob's got a lot of things to say about Joseph, right? Joseph was the favorite from top to bottom, from beginning to end, to the point that he actually adopted, Jacob did, the two sons of Joseph and made them tribes themselves. When you look at the maps of the ancient tribes of Israel and the lands that they inhabited from Scripture, there's no Joseph, but there is Ephraim and Manasseh, and they're two of the most populous tribes. So let's look at this for a second. Verse 22. Joseph is the foal of a wild donkey, the foal of a wild donkey at a spring, one of the wild donkeys on the ridge. Interesting. Verse 23, archers attacked him savagely. They shot at him and harassed him, but his bow remained taut, and his arms were strengthened by the hands of the mighty one of Jacob, by the shepherd, the rock of Israel. May the God of your father help you. May the Almighty bless you with the blessings of heaven above, and blessings of the watery depths below, and blessings of the breasts in the womb. May my fatherly blessing on you surpass the blessing of my ancestors, reaching to the heights of the eternal hills. May the blessings rest on the head of Joseph, who is a prince among his brothers. Sounds exactly like something Jacob would say about Joseph, doesn't it? But remember, this isn't just Joseph or Jacob talking. These are prophecies that are taking place about these sons. And so God blesses Joseph, and it's the blessing that comes because of Joseph's faithfulness to him. It all flows together. It talks about archers attacked him. Joseph had dealt with attacks throughout his life, right? From his brothers to Potiphar's wife, the imprisonment. He had been attacked and been maligned and harassed by men and by Satan throughout the entirety of his life. So here he is being described. His hands, though, were made strong by the mighty God of Jacob. So the idea is that Joseph, and through all the things that he went through and all the things that his descendants will go through, they will be strengthened by the mighty hand of God. And even says there, may the Almighty bless you. So Joseph was blessed both in his life and in posterity. There were moments where Joseph's life was not very much of a blessing, but there are moments where it really was a great blessing. As he rose to prominence in Egypt, was able to save his family, was able to take care of the nation of Egypt, his family, and even the surrounding nations. So God's hand was on Joseph throughout this. And the tribes that would come from Joseph would be some of the most populous. So he received here the double portion of blessing. This was something that should go to the firstborn. It should have gone to Reuben. But as we know, these things were taken from Reuben and they were scattered, right? Judah received the leadership portion. Levi received the spiritual leadership portion. Joseph receives the double blessing by being the father of not just one tribe, but actually being the father of two tribes through his sons that Jacob adopts. So Jacob here listed several titles for God. He calls him the mighty one of Jacob, the shepherd, the rock of Israel, the God of your father, and the Almighty. This shows something about Jacob. There's growth in Jacob as this is occurring. See, Jacob in the past had referred to the God of Abraham, but now he's the mighty one of Jacob. Jacob had that personal relationship with God that had grown over time. Jacob was a far different man than he was in decades previous. God worked with him, grew him, and his faith and trust in the Lord had grown as a result. It's a good thing to talk about. We'll talk about some more tomorrow.